Hey friends, I wanted to share with you so I got a Cricut Now What tutorial with you. The topic I'm going to be sharing with you today is linking your cartridges. This one is difficult for me because I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to show you how to do this. The best way I know how is to just walk you through it. I don't have any cartridges to link to my Cricut Explore because I have already done that. But if you were a Cricut owner previously and you have just upgraded to the Explorer, Explore Air, the Cricut Maker, the Air 2, whatever it is, and you still have the plastic cartridges, you can link them to your machine by putting them in right here. And it will talk you through how to do that, but I will show you as well. I just don't have any physical cartridges to show you how that process works. But I'll show you what button you need to press in order to do that. You can use the Cricut without the cartridges and linking them to your Cricut, but you would need like the Access subscription in order to do that. Then you have access to the entire Cricut image library. Without that, you would need to link your existing cartridges so that you can access them on this program. On your desktop or on your iPad, whatever device it is you're using that you have your Cricut downloaded to. Mine is on my desktop, so I'm going to select my Cricut Design Space and open that up. What to do is locate the 3 bars in the top left-hand corner of your screen. Select that and then scroll down to Link Cartridges. It will highlight green when your cursor is hovering over it. Pop up after you have selected Link Cartridges. It's going to prompt you to insert your cartridge into the slot in the left-hand side of the machine. And then once that is done, you'll be able to select the Link Cartridges green button in the bottom right-hand side of the box. You'll need to repeat this step for each cartridge that you own, you are working with, or that you have. So you're going to go to either My Projects or New Project. Let's just select New Project. Over here to the left-hand side of the screen, on this side of the screen, you have a few different options to choose from as far as what you want to do with your project. There's templates. Quite honestly, I haven't used this function. I don't know what it entails. There's projects. I don't know what this one entails either. We will get into those one day in the future. Next is images. This is the icon you're going to click when you want to search either your image library from the cartridges that you have uploaded or the entire Cricut image library. That entire library is going to include images you have already purchased from your cartridges, plus also the images that are found in Cricut's image library. So everything will be there. The text option is if you want to create your own text. You can type out anything you want, and there are tons of different fonts that you can choose from as well. The shapes icon is another one. It's really simple. When you click on it, you have a bunch of different shapes to choose from that you can cut and size. Off the screen, there's also a heart option and then a score line. So to test out our cutting, we are going to do just a simple, let's do the star. So click on that and your star will show up on your canvas. Edit the size of the shape if you would like. You don't need to at this point because we're just pretending to test the cutting portion of setting up our machine. So once you are ready to cut your image, once you have selected the image you want, you can come all the way over here to the far right hand of the screen. and click the Make It button. So you'll select that. Make it. The screen that comes up is this one. In the top left-hand corner, it will say Prepare 1 Mats. It will have your canvas with the image that you have selected on it, your material size. You can adjust this here if you want. I have never adjusted it because I only work in 12 by 12. So there's an option for you to do that as well. And up here where it says Project Copies, you have the ability to decide how many stars you want cut for your project. If you want just 1, leave it alone. If you decide you want 3, hit the up arrow 2 times and select Apply. And then your screen will change to reflect the changes that you have made. But for this application, we are only going to do 1. So let's say you made a mistake and you only wanted 2 instead of 3. So you'll select the down arrow and then you can hit Apply again and it will readjust to what you've asked it to do. I'm going to change it back to 1 because we only need 1. And once again, there it has adjusted. To the very bottom right hand of our screen, there are 2 boxes, one that's gray and it says Cancel, and the next one is green and it says Continue. If you are happy with your canvas and the way that it looks, we can go ahead and select Continue. This will bring us to the cut screen. You can see your canvas still shows up and it shows exactly what you asked it to do. So it's cutting on a mat, 12 by 12 piece of paper, or a 12 by 12 cutting mat anyways, and mirror off. We don't want to mirror the image, so we've just left that alone. If you forgot to choose something, you can select Edit and change that before you actually do the cutting. It also tells you what your machine is set to. I keep my machine set to poster board. That enables me to cut glitter paper. It's a little thicker than your regular cardstock. It will cut cardstock, regular paper. I leave it set to poster board, the higher setting, just to ensure that it cuts through everything that I use in my own crafting, which is just essentially cardstock and pattern papers. You don't need to have it set to poster board. You can have it set to cardstock, and that will cover most cardstock papers. Light cardstock would be for your lighter papers. I personally find the best setting to have my machine set to is the poster board. I'm happiest with the cutting on this setting. It's also going to explain or show you that you don't need any other tools required. So you don't need a pen, you don't need the scoring blade. All you need is your cutting blade. At this point, you should make sure your cutting blade is actually in your machine. You'll want to put it into clamp B, and clamp A is for your other tools should you need them. Then the last point says load mat and press the load unload button. So I will show you that next. So first of all, you're going to notice when your machine is ready to cut, the little up down arrow is going to be flashing. That means it's ready to go and it's ready to cut. So I have put my cardstock onto my mat. I like using the green cutting mat. I think the adhesive on it is perfect. The sticky tackiness on it is excellent. And this is the cutting mat that I always use. There are measurements on the mat from 0 technically, up to 12 along the top border, and then it's also down along the left hand side, and then it has, I think, the centimeter measurements along the bottom and right hand side of the mats. All the mats are the same. They all look like this. So I have my cardstock on it. I'm going to slip my mat underneath the little brackets here. They're on each side. Here's my housing for my cutting blade, and then this is the housing for any of the other tools like the scoring blade or pens that you might want to use in other projects. Once that is in place, you can hit the flashing arrow here. It will pull the mat the rest of the way in, and it will set itself up for cutting. You're also going to notice once you have pushed this button, the Cricut button is going to start flashing. That means your machine is ready to cut. So now you can hit this button. Your screen, I'm going to quickly pan over to my computer, is going to show you as it's cutting its progress. So already it's at 100% because it's a simple image that we're cutting. Once that is done, your arrow button is going to flash again. That means it wants you to pull your mat out. So you push that button, the machine will spit your mat out, and then you can pull it out the rest of the way. And you have cut a perfect star. Now, your machine is going to continue flashing here until you come back to your computer. I'm going to sit down and swing you around to my computer again, and I'll record from the computer. You'll want to come to the bottom right hand of the screen here to the green button that says Finish, select Finish, and your cutting is complete. Congratulations, you have cut your very first image on your new Cricut machine. Hi guys. So that concludes today's tutorial showing you how to cut with your Cricut, first of all, and hopefully when you set up your machine, it did prompt you to cut an image just to test that everything was set up properly. If it wasn't, make sure you contact Cricut so they can help you get that straightened out. I also wanted to let you know I will be including a link in the description box down below explaining a little bit more about setting up your machine and links that you may find helpful to get everything set up and going. I hope you found this tutorial useful and helpful, and the next time I come back I will be sharing with you a little bit more about searching the image library to cut images that you want to put in a project that you're working on, whether it's a card or a layout. And I'll also show you some of the different areas of Cricut that you can, go to for inspiration and to look for other projects that you might want to work on. Thanks for joining me today. I will be back again soon with more inspiration for you. Bye guys.